Happening now, the latest on an overnight fire in Jamestown that killed several cats and left a family homeless. What sparked the blaze next? And the community hears directly from local leaders about their plan to renovate a major thoroughfare. Plus, an annual tradition returns to the Chattacoin River.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Our latest local news is coming up, but first, let's get a check of our weather forecast. And I think everybody's in a little bit of a party mode today, Dakota, as we're ringing in spring with some style. I'm excited for the warmth, although it's not as good as it could be, I guess. We have a lot warmer temperatures coming.
Yes, but we're officially not into spring yet. That doesn't come up until Sunday. So we're still officially in winter. We've just got a few more days left of that to go. But the sky cam at Chautauqua Lake shows you, the sunshine that we had this morning has started to go behind clouds, and that's pretty much going to be the story throughout the afternoon hours. You can see the clouds starting to surge in, but we do have some precipitation back to our west and especially to our north. There's a front that's kind of just meandering across the region, so it's colder to the north, and that's why there's that snow up there just north of the banner. But we are going to see some rain showers coming on in for the afternoon hours today. 50 was the high yesterday. It felt nice. 38 is where we started the day. 82 and 3 below are the records. So through the afternoon, the sunshine that we had is going to hide behind clouds. Scattered rain showers will start to develop through the afternoon hours. Otherwise mild. 43 to 55. This is above average. The 43 is going to be right at the immediate Lake Erie waterfront with a light wind eventually shifting west 5 to 10. Now, if you like this, we've got more of it on the way over the next few days. We'll talk about it in detail. That Ultimate Satellite Solutions 7-day forecast later on in the show, Justin.
All right, Dakota, we'll see you back in a bit. Thank you. A family of 4 are homeless following a house fire in Jamestown that claimed the life of 3 pet cats. Crews with the Jamestown Fire Department were dispatched to 341 East 5th Street around 2:30 Tuesday morning. The home's owner, Ken Glazen, tells us his brother discovered flames on the first floor of that single-family home. He was able to safely evacuate his children and girlfriend. Fire crews called in off-duty manpower to assist in knocking down flames there. They spent several hours after the fact on location. The department did return this morning for a report of smoke rising from the structure. They tell us that it turned out to be sunshine reflecting off of the building. Now, the homeowner says that he's disappointed and saddened to see the house badly damaged, saying his family has completed significant work in that renovation in recent years. He, along with contractors, were on scene today, boarding up windows. His brother's family has reached out to the Red Cross for assistance. The Jamestown Fire Department tells us just a little while ago that an improperly discarded cigarette on the front porch likely sparked that blaze, with flames extending into the first floor interior of that home before spreading throughout the rest of the structure. And investigators have determined what sparked a residential fire in the village of Casadega overnight. The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office fire investigation team responded to 22 High Street around 3 in the morning. Investigators there determined that blaze originated on the rear porch of the residence after an oil-soaked cotton rag caught fire. No injuries thankfully reported. The homeowner is now being assisted by the Red Cross there too. And the redesign of West 3rd Street in Jamestown was discussed during a public meeting between local leaders and residents last night. Our Bronson Rasmussen was there while feedback was brought in.
Presenting the plans was Assistant Civil Engineer Mark Rotzer, who says that the remodeling will include new underground electric lines to the homes, new candlestick light poles similar to the ones on 3rd Street, and around 40 new trees.
We had a nice turnout. A lot of homeowners came. They had, questions that were thought out and made sense. So it was a very nice event.
Last week, the remodeling plan was presented to the City Council, with the lawmaking group waiting on feedback from the residents, like 3rd Street homeowner John Norelli.
We are a community, and it's good for us to really talk about what we want rather than just have the city do it.
Among the top topics of the night was the plan for planting trees. Many also reminisced on the past, citing the cathedral oak trees that were cut down last year.
The week that we moved in, they started cutting down the trees, and part of the reason we loved the neighborhood so much to begin with was the beautiful trees. So that was really heartbreaking for us.
City arborist Dan Stone tells us that there is no replacing the grand oaks that line 3rd Street, but the new trees of many different species planned for the area will bring a resemblance to what was there before.
I think what we got here is, like I said, a nice clean slate to work with. We'll never be able to replace the canopy of what we had here on West 3rd Street of the Cathedral Oaks. But I think we can make a really nice gateway entrance into our city and make it a nice, warm, welcoming spot once again.
The next step? To find a contractor and get the project underway. This could take until the middle of May or June until construction starts, and even longer until they are finished. In the newsroom, Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
An annual St. Patrick's Day tradition is returning to Jamestown this weekend. City leaders announced just a little while ago they plan to turn the Chautauqua River green in honor of the holiday on Saturday at 11 in the morning. Along the Jamestown Riverwalk at Main Street near that Blarney Stone. The Board of Public Utilities, with assistance from a local leprechaun, will dye the river green. Celtic music will also be playing, which officials say will just add to the Irish festivities. Certainly a lot of fun. As WNY News Now continues, Governor Kathy Hochul speaking directly with local county leaders here in New York State. We check in with her latest budget push. And later, with gas prices still on the rise, what rideshare app users might encounter in our region. Stay with us as WNY News Now will be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Brought to you by the Chautauqua Safety Village and the Jamestown Fire Department.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A man believed to be responsible for numerous shootings in Washington, D.C. and New York City is now in custody. That's according to a tweet from D.C. police, who says the suspect was arrested Tuesday morning in the nation's capital. The suspect has been linked to at least 5 shootings against homeless people. At least 2 of the victims died. The FBI is involved in that investigation. So far, there's no word about a possible motive. And county executives from across the state met Monday night with Governor Kathy Hochul at New York State's Association of Counties Legislative Conference. As our Julia Gress reports, during the meeting, the governor praised the executives for their work, especially in regards to their collaboration with their county health departments to combat the pandemic.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul assured county leaders that the state budget would be released as quickly as possible so that local leaders can allocate their funds.
As a local official, I remember trying to do our town budgeting, and we would not know whether there was any aid at all coming from the state, sometimes until June, July, August.
Though the entire budget is yet to be finalized, the governor listed some of the big-ticket items coming through state funding. This includes the return of aid and incentives for municipalities money that was cut by $59 million in the 2019 to 2020 budget. $538 million will be invested in the CHIPS program, as well as $100 million for state touring roads and $150 million for Paved New York.
I know that as a former local official, we're about the only people get real excited about storm sewers and water lines, what's happening, the stuff that nobody else sees, but we obsess about this because we know that's one of our responsibilities, is to ensure that it all functions.
In addition to the infrastructure funding, the state also plans to help municipalities with social programs, including cybersecurity.
This is something because we're interconnected. You sustain an attack on your system, either through the DMV or Real Property Services. There's ways that you are connected to the state system. So we also have a motive to make sure that you're protected as well.
Hochul is also promising $10 billion to rebuild the healthcare system, a weak spot made clear during the pandemic. The state plans to recruit and train workers, as well as assist with tuition to assure that there is never as dire of a shortage. Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Julia, thank you. And the application process for the 2022 Empire State Fellows Program is now open. That program is a full-time mid-career fellowship program which prepares the next generation of New York State's policymakers. Beginning 10 years ago, graduates have obtained senior roles in the state government, including deputy commissioner, deputy secretary, and chief of staff positions. The incoming class will serve from September 22 to September 2024. Applications will be accepted through April 4th. For more information and how to apply, check out the web story posted at WNYNewsNow.com. And if you're planning to use rideshare apps like Uber to get around town anytime soon, it might cost you a little extra. The popular app is adding a new fuel surcharge to every ride to help its drivers pay for gas. Erie News Now's Kristen Allen has more.
It's been a long day for Uber drivers in Erie like Ron Thornton.
I've been to the airport a couple times. I've been all the way out to Fairview from the hospital.
He's been behind the wheel full-time for Uber the last couple of years, but lately, the prices at the pump are beating on his bottom line.
How much does it cost to fill your truck up right now?
$70
versus what
the
was
50 before.
That $70 is what he puts in his truck every day. Some longtime drivers are even cutting back on rideshare driving for now because they can't afford to keep their tank filled.
There's been talk of people that haven't quit, but they've definitely knocked their hours down.
That's why this week Uber's introducing a new fuel surcharge for passengers, 45 to 55 cents per ride, and for deliveries, 35 to 45 cents. The company says the fees will go directly to drivers to help them fill up and is only supposed to be temporary. But the silver lining here, Thornton says, is more people are using services like Uber to get around, possibly to avoid the gas stations.
I think it's probably cheaper, for some people to Uber than it is for them to fill their tank every week.
Now times that would usually be slow turn the Uber map red, meaning riders are ready to go.
We're getting surges at odd hours of the day, Just keep in mind, like I always end with, just be patient. We're getting to you.
Kristen Allen, Erie News Now.
Yeah, certainly the cost of a lot. Kristen, thank you. Coming up, we tell you about efforts underway in Washington to maybe help them out with those gas prices. But first, when we return, a full look at our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter back right after this.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
This winter, let New York State take your breath away. Come be a part of it. Plan your winter getaway at iloveny.com.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, It's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Well, welcome back, and wanted to start off with something that just occurred this morning. How about an earthquake in Wyoming County? It's not here in the southern tier. It was in Wyoming County, but the USGS has actually registered a 2.6 magnitude earthquake just near Warsaw in Wyoming County. And believe it or not, earthquakes around here are not as uncommon as you might think they are. And again, you know, we've talked about this before. We have a set of fault lines that run directly through western New York. It's called the Clarendon-Linden Fault System, and it runs all the way from the Lake Ontario shoreline all the way down to Allegheny County. So it's not uncommon to get some seismic activity around here. So that happened this morning. And also something that's happening today is it's cooler near the Lake Erie waterfront today. And here's the reason why. We have a lake breeze. So the Lake Erie water temperature at 33 degrees. We have that warm air that happens across the land. Of course, you know, the ground and the land warms up quicker. So ultimately it rises. Then as it moves across the Lake Erie shoreline, it picks up that cold air and ultimately shoves it inland. So that's called a lake breeze. So that's why the Lake Erie shoreline in spring and summer is often cooler. And it's actually kind of noted here in the current temperature plots. Notice the Lake Erie shoreline hovering in the mid to upper 40s. But once you work inland, we're already at 50 in Randolph, 49 in Warren, 48 Sheffield, and also here in town at 48. And temperatures are going to continue to go up from here. We're at 53 today, 61 tomorrow. How about for St. Patrick's Day? 63 degrees. Both Wednesday and Thursday will be dry. Friday and Saturday, we start to cool off a little bit, and we do bring in a chance for a few rain showers as well. The rain does increase by the time we go into the later part of the week. First Defense Doppler radar mainly dry, but we are starting to see some rain showers starting to come into Warren County, and we are going to see an advancement of the rain showers through the afternoon hours. There's that front that's kind of hanging right across the region. That has been producing the rain showers today and also the cloud cover, but after we shove this front through, it turns drier for the next few days. So notice Future Scan does paint a couple of those little isolated to scattered showers through the afternoon hours. The chance of rain today is at 40%, so not everybody is going to get wet. Those rain showers will continue through the evening hours, then taper off for the overnight. Tomorrow, a gorgeous day, partly to mostly sunny, and we will keep that dry weather going all the way into St. Patrick's Day. So if you're going to be celebrating, it'll be a fantastic holiday as we head into the later part of the week. So tomorrow we start the day around 37. We'll likely rise up into the lower 60s by the end of the day. Now the next 7 days coming up, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So there it is again, 63 for St. Patrick's Day. We're beginning a chance for more rain showers Friday, 56. May mix it with a few wet snowflakes on Saturday and Sunday as we officially kick off spring, and we're back into the upper 50s again, Justin, by next Monday.
Woohoo, I'll take it. Boy, the luck of the Irish will certainly be with us on Thursday, bringing those wonderful temperatures. Dakota, thank you. Well, some of the truckers in the People's Convoy are finally in Washington, D.C. They arrived there yesterday. They made this trip from Hagerstown, Maryland, where they've been holding a protest against COVID mandates for about 10 days now. Now, despite saying earlier that they would not actually enter D.C., they did yesterday. Washington police closed some streets and highway ramps, and they urged commuters to use Metro Rail. The convoy involves hundreds of truckers who drove across the country to protest COVID mandates. That's despite the fact that mask mandates are already gone in all states except for Hawaii. while vaccine mandates are being loosened by cities and states across the country now. And 2 buildings in residential parts of Kyiv were hit by separate airstrikes early Tuesday morning. That according to the Ukrainian Emergency Services. A private home in Oskover, a district east of the city center, was hit by shelling just around 6 a.m. local time. A fire broke out in a 2-story building but was extinguished shortly thereafter. No casualties were reported. Shortly after that, a 10-story apartment building in Poldy, that's north of the city center, was hit in another strike. That caused a fire in the bottom 5 floors of that building. One person was taken to the hospital, and emergency services crews continue to respond there. Just breathtaking images coming from the scene in Ukraine. And gas prices continue to climb, and analysts say a combination of an increased demand for gas and people traveling back to work and that Russian-Ukraine situation are big factors of this problem. But members of Congress now suggesting one way in which we could curb the prices. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp reports.
Gas prices continue to climb, reaching record highs. According to AAA, the national average increased almost 30 cents in a week. Over in Pennsylvania and New York, we're averaging almost 10 cents more than the national average. And here at the Capitol, members are looking for solutions. One proposal that is getting tossed around: suspend the federal gas tax. It could reduce the price of gas by roughly 18 cents per gallon. This gas tax helps fund our public transit and highway projects. And in this proposal, the Treasury Department would make up for the lost funds by transferring general funds into the trust fund usually financed by the tax.
But we can take other steps.
Democratic Senator Bob Casey is open to the idea, but says this isn't the only solution. He's advocating to extend the child tax credit, which he says would help put additional dollars into families' pockets.
So I think we should consider again those kinds of supports to the American people, because they have been paying high prices for a long time.
Republican Representatives Fred Keller and Tom Reed say this would only be a temporary fix.
I think we can do better than that. It's 18 cents on a gallon. It goes to fund our infrastructure. Obviously, we just made $1 trillion plus investment in infrastructure. So if there is an opportunity to do it, this is maybe a time to do it. But I see it as a gimmick.
They outline a few suggestions of their own to lower prices.
Get out of the Paris Climate Accords, drill on federal lands. Let's get pipelines approved. Let's get rid of it. Let's really take the barriers away as far as regulatory environment to get things done in America and have American energy where we do it cleaner than anybody on the face of the earth.
At the Capitol, Rachel Knapp reporting.
Rachel, thank you. The federal gas tax generates around $30 to $34 billion towards highway and road projects. Next, a historical draw is set to return to our region this summer. A look at what's slated to happen on Lake Erie when we come back.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Remember when you were a kid, huddled around the television waiting for your school to close? Well, we don't get snow days. When winter weather hits, count on the First Defense Weather Team for a look into the future where the snow is headed next. Live radar showing you the scope of the storm. And real-time reports from the field. So when it matters most, stay with First Defense Weather.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now. watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Well, if these milder temperatures have you thinking about summer, the flagship Niagara League hopes you'll include Tall Ships Erie 2022 in your plans. Tickets went on sale yesterday for the 4-day festival, which starts on August 25th. Erie News Now's Lisa Adams has more for us.
After having to cancel sailing seasons for the flagship Niagara for the last 2 years, the flagship Niagara League and presenting sponsor Highmark are very excited to announce that Tall Ships Erie 2022 is officially on. It will bring about 10 international sailing ships right here to the Port of Erie in August, and that's really big news for tourism here in our community.
So the fact that we can actually talk about something good, something positive, that's an economic driver, that is a source of pride for our community, and to say that we're actually doing it and that it's real, you can buy tickets now and it's definitely going to happen, it really feels good.
The last Tall Ships Erie Festival in 2019 infused an estimated $8 million into the local economy, with visitors checking out more than the ships.
They're doing the L Trail, they're going out to visit wineries, they're going to Waldameer, out to the peninsula. So we're able to see those visitors from out of town, not only partaking in the festival itself, but then also doing other activities throughout the community.
Presenting sponsor Highmark says Erie has even more to show off this year.
There's so much investment going on in downtown Erie right now, so we're going to be able to showcase everything that we're doing here in the city this summer for Tall Ships.
So we know that the Pride of Baltimore, too, is coming back for Tall Ships Erie 2022. Look for more announcements as to which other vessels will be part of the event this time around. If you're interested in tickets, you can buy them online anytime at tallshipserie.org or down here on the weekends at the Erie Maritime Museum. Reporting downtown, Lisa Adams, Erie News Now.
Lisa, thank you. Now, Dakota, there are day tickets, weekend passes, and VIP tickets for shorter lines and special parking. Tall Ship Erie starts August 25th and runs through the 28th. Certainly looks like a really awesome thing, and I could get behind a little tourism. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a little getaway.
I know. Jay's got his vacation marked down in big bold letters on his calendar.
Big circle over quite a long time. So, but no, I think that should be a cool thing, especially if for people in our region. You know, you could make a day of it. You don't necessarily have to stay there. Although during COVID, and I think I've mentioned this before, I had a little staycation of sorts where I stayed in Erie. I stayed at their one of their harbor hotels that they had there on the bayfront. And it was really great. It was good to kind of get out of Jamestown, but not have to travel so far when a time traveling maybe gave people a little anxiety. So it was a good mix, and it was a nice, friendly town for sure. So our partners,
especially now with all the gas prices,
right?
It's like
you don't want to travel so far.
So. It's like if you want to get away, Erie, Buffalo,
right? Even Pittsburgh,
Binghamton, if you want to travel. That little extra distance. So
right. So yeah, certainly lots to do in our area, and a lot of people will probably be out and about over the next couple of days here, because I think this is the first significant warm up that we've had in quite a while, I would imagine.
Pardon me.
Oh, sorry.
I'm choking on my own saliva.
You're choking on these warm temperatures.
Yes, it chokes me up. We'll be in the 60s both tomorrow and Thursday, lower 60s. So the luck of the Irish is with us for tomorrow and Thursday. We bring in a few rain showers for Friday and Saturday. Even though temperatures do go down for the weekend, we're back up into the mid-50s again by next Monday.
What's your gauge on Saturday? I know a lot of people might be going out 10, 11 o'clock for that River Dye event as we magically change the Shadow Coin green. I see wintry mix.
Yes.
They're going to need to bundle up,
so,
umbrellas.
As of right now, it looks like it'll be mainly a rain-snow mix. It's not looking too windy, so that should hopefully play in our favor. But still, 44, when you go from 56 to 44, it's going to be, like culture shock. Yeah. But still, that's not too far off from average. Remember, the average highs this time of the year are in the mid-40s.
Very true. Well, hey, if you don't want to go out on Saturday, we'll be there. You can watch it live from the comfort of your couch. We'll leave you with this look over Chautauqua Lake. Have a great day.